This episode of NOLA Film Scene is brought to you by the Law Office of Jana McCaffery.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Nick Marchan. I'm an actor, new writer, singer, new producer, and I am thrilled to be a NOLA Film Scene.
Welcome to NOLA Film Scene with TJ Plaideau.
I'm TJ.
And as always, I'm Plaideau.
Nick, man, it's good to see you again. I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I can't complain. You know, life has its ups and downs, but I'm grateful to be still standing, still going, still doing what I love to do.
You've been crushing it. You sing, love your music, man. And then you're just, I refer to you as the commercial king. Every time I turn around, it seems like I see you booking another commercial. That's incredible.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for that. I truly appreciate that because, you know, starting off with that, I always hated my smile. I had a good photographer friend, Brett LaVetro. Yeah, he's been my photographer for over 10 years now. He was like, smile, man. Like, let's just show it all. Because I grew up very shy, and I just never liked to smile. I just didn't like my teeth or something like that. And next thing you know, that was bringing in the money. That was booking all the commercials, was my smile. And I just let go, and I just started smiling every other way. And there you go. And 30-something commercials later, I'm still sitting here going with it.
Wow, 30 commercials. I mean, it's
up there.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank God. I'm blessed to have done a few from between here in Mississippi and throughout the Southeast region.
Yeah. And that was the advice I was given is for commercial auditions, especially your headshot, smiling. For drama, serious.
Yeah.
That's
commercials and comedy. So it's knowing your strength, which you know now, even though you felt awkward about it, and then leading with that and just making your niche. Yeah. That's fantastic, brother.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I've never been much of a smiler. My whole life I wasn't. And then my time in the service, I was just never really a smiley guy. And when I got into performing, I guess it's been 3 years now, not counting background before that, I had to force myself. I had to consciously tell myself, okay, smile. All right, you're doing a slate, smile. And people say different things. They'll say slate in character, don't slate in character. I always try to put a little warm smile on the end of my slate, just so they know that I'm not the jerk that I'm playing or whatever. I am personable and I can get along with people on set. And it's not that I don't smile on the inside. I do. I smile. I just had to force myself to consciously think about it because I don't smile all the time.
Yeah, something you weren't used to. And thanks for your service. What were you in for again? You were in the Army?
No, I started in the Navy. I was a corpsman in the Navy, and then I transitioned over to the Coast Guard and got commissioned.
I got you. And you know, I understand with not smiling. That's awesome. It's okay if you do. You know, that job doesn't take a lot of smiling all the time. That's understandable. But underneath that mustache and that beard, there's a great smile. Thank you for your service, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Which we can, when you find your type. So TJ's almost always a biker. I see him as a cult leader. You know what I mean? All these crazy, serious. You know, you played a homeless man.
I played a lot
threatening
of
roles.
Guys.
But you're the threatening guy.
Yeah.
But the reverse of that, the nice guy will catch people. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the guy in Home Alone, the neighbor who was so scary to Kevin and he was shoveling.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas like mine, Ann Mahoney, when we were discussing my type during her class, I'm like the guy next door. I'm the guy everybody talks to. I'm the friendly dad.
Mm-hmm.
The traverse of that, the mobster you don't know about.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Me being like at a barbecue and
I'm sorry, we need to pause for just a second. I got to figure out what's going on with with
your
camera.
Square. So when Ann Mahoney and I were talking about my type in her class, I'm the guy next door. I'm the friendly guy everybody wants to talk to. I'm, you know, this age, kind of the dad. But now imagine he's a secret gangster. So I'm at the barbecue making the, you know, dogs. Somebody kind of looks at my daughter wrong and a simple nod. And that means he's going to be taken out. So that flip. So that's cool. Finding your smile for both.
That's it. And I like that, you know, and that's my style of shows, the gangster type shows and things like that. And us with no hair, we can, you know, we have to, and we can go a long way with it. Sometimes they always see us with the, never not happy. We're stereotyped a different way. And I've been stereotyped as a cop, and I'm going to take advantage of it as long as I can. I'm going to try to be the best doggone cop or army guy as I can until they book me with a role that shows some other range, and then I can show them like, oh, this guy actually could play a dad and or a mafia type guy. Open that range up a little bit, and that's what I'm here for. I want to shock the world. Have a lot more. We have a lot more in this bag.
Typecasting is casting.
That's right.
Amen. I agree with that.
So if they're casting you always, you get to make your own and show your range. Let them pay your bills with that typecasting.
You're right about that, because you can look at all the stuff I've done. Cop this, cop that. I'll take it. I got a few friends that's policemen and stuff like that. And growing up, I wanted to be a cop. My dad was a cop for about 12 years in Trinidad and Tobago. So I've always been fascinated with policemen and cops and how they move and studying them. So, I always get those type of roles, and I embrace it. So I guess we'll talk about that more if I want, whatever I want to talk.
You have that look. You can be serious, but then you've also got an inviting smile at the same time. It's pretty versatile, I think. So, I mean, we'll certainly circle back to that, but I wanted to ask you about your music. That's one of the ways that Brian and I first bonded and started really hanging out and then talking about doing the podcast. I was taking voice lessons from Olivia Peck, and
love her.
He had been thinking about taking voice, so he started taking with her, and we progressed from there. Have you always been a singer, been musical, or was that something that started later in life, or how'd that come about?
Oh, thanks for asking. Well, I was very shy, of course, growing up, and it's crazy how being very shy that I'm an actor now. But my mom sang a lot growing up, and I've been in the choir crazy since I was about 10 years old. I've been in school choir singing and things like that. And I used to try to write my own songs growing up and things like that. I never thought anything about it, because I was just fascinated with singing. And I always thought that I wasn't a good singer because I couldn't do runs like those R&B types. And I was like, well, I'm not a good singer because I can't do any runs. I can sing like an opera guy. And for a while, that kind of put a stint in what I was doing, and I was always afraid to sing or showcase my talent. For years, close friends of mine never knew that I could sing, and then just a few years ago, I was like, you know what? I need to bring some more tools out this bag, and then maybe it could help me with my acting and everything else, and maybe let's do a role where I can sing and act at the maybe at the same time, or maybe this guy is upcoming singer or something like that. I was influenced by a lot of country music, a lot of rock, reggae. So I love a reggae, like Caribbean style music and things like that. And so I have a little twang in my music. So I try to create my own genre. Never took any professional lessons voice wise. But I had some great teachers, choir teachers that believed in me and gave me a few chances here and there. And then I just wanted to try to create a song in here, and I wrote a song, and I had a buddy that produced it from scratch with me, and just wanted to bring it out there and show the world. Of course, I was very nervous and scared by it, and I shouldn't be like that, but we're all in some type of way, it's like they're gonna hear me sing, and people don't even know I sing, but you know what? That's all about having confidence in yourself, and that's one thing I try to tell people. So you have to believe in yourself in this industry. If you don't have belief in yourself, then you're wasting your time. It sounds cliche, but you really have to believe in what you're doing. And I believe that some part of my voice that I can sing well. So I'm still trying to find my range and try to find my style. And I didn't quite know my style. I just knew it was a style. I guess it's like my style. So, and I like to inspire people, so I like to have encouraging lyrics in my songs. I only did 3 so far, but I'm trying to improve in that. I don't know, but I always want to do something. I just want to do it well. you know, and professionally, and everything was produced professionally and prayed over it, and I just released it to the world, and we have it from there.
Yeah.
Did that answer your
I
question? I was all over the place with that one.
Yeah, of course.
No,
Yeah.
you're not all over the place. Let's just set that aside. Just relax. But finding your confidence, because you actually sang in the choir, is different than just like on American Idol, some of the first people who tear through it, I can sing and they can't. So that's a little bit of a difference that I hear in your story. And then one thing I want to throw a little bee in your bonnet, in studying voice acting, and it does for acting too, is finding the melody in a person's voice sometimes, and also in accent. You know, like an Irish ta-tee, very rough and not good, but you know what I'm saying? And that can lead you into different things. Also could be part of the character. Oh, the character kind of talks like this all the time. Or you develop a limp because of what something, you know what I'm saying? Just to be in your bonnet to add to your toolbox.
That's something I thought about too, was voice acting. I don't know if you guys ever done it before, but this type of characters, I can't do accents. I suck at those. I could do a Caribbean accent, you know, because my family's Caribbean, and and if I want to
I was
perfect
going
that,
to ask you.
I can actually do that, and I can have a little twang in my voice. But you know, the UK type accents or whatever, Irish, wrong with that one. But you know, get accents like this, things like that. I have a dog bust through the door, so excuse me.
It can be fun to be a kid, and then you know. But I'll talk to you off camera. Legion is direct. I've studied accents. I've studied voice acting with, and TJ studied some too. So we can point you into some directions.
Yeah. I would love that. I have a dog that busted the door, so forgive me.
Oh, no, it's all good. One of the things Brian told me about early on about singing with doing voice work is it's not necessarily about, well, I mean, you sing good, so it doesn't apply to you. But for me, it wasn't necessarily about singing good, but singing in character, you know, to match what your character is. I had to do an audition one time for a cartoon, and it was like silly gibberish. And Brian said that you just sing in character. Don't worry about singing the right note or, you know, whatever. And it made a lot of sense.
Well, you're interested in singing? What type of singing are you like interested in?
I really only did it to help with the voice stuff and to just help my own confidence, because singing is something I'm very self-conscious about. Singing in public anyway. I had an audition where I think Brian had the same one. I don't remember if it was the same character, but we had to sing in the audition, and it was not a comfortable experience for me. I was not happy with that audition. The acting part of it, I think, was okay, but the singing part was very cringy. And we actually ended up interviewing. She was a producer director we've worked with. She was casting for that. It was a small, I think it was a short even, wasn't it, Brian? I can't remember, but she didn't even remember that I had auditioned. So that was a bonus because that was not my finest moment.
And along those lines, and it goes with like if you're doing I'm going to try to do an Arnold. Unless you're playing Arnold, a bad Arnold accent is a character in itself.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's part of the animation world is, you know, you don't have to be perfect, but if you just allude to it, and then you know, we don't take no girly man. So it's something you can relax about, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. And for singing, man, that takes a lot of confidence, man. That'll develop confidence. You know, as long as you don't have to be the best singer, as long as you stay in tune and kind of match, you know, whatever pitch you're trying to stick with.
Do you play instruments?
The crazy thing is, I'm obsessed with guitars, and I've been having a guitar for 20 years, and I haven't picked it up yet. Now, problem is when I pick it up and start learning, and I need to, and that's my fault, because I know it takes time, it takes busted up fingers, you know, wear and tear on yourself, but I just really haven't picked it up to. I can air guitar all day, but a guitar is one of my favorite instruments, and I just need to no, I don't.
We'll be right back.
Have you been injured?
New Orleans-based actor Jana McCaffery has been practicing law in Louisiana since 1999, specializing in personal injury since 2008. She takes helping others very seriously, so if you've been injured, Jana's offering a free consultation and a reduced fee to fellow members of the Louisiana film industry. She will handle your case from start to finish. She can be reached at janamccaffery@gmail.com or 504-837-1234. Make sure you tell her NOLA Film Scene sent you.
Okay.
A friend of ours who was in the 7 and 7 with us when we did the Western, A Man from Banderas. He's a musician. And later I had an audition to be a guitar player. I said, I don't have time to learn. He says, I can get you through it. So maybe we can get, if you need it, if you want it, maybe some Zoom lessons with him, but we'll see.
I like to hear
Maybe
that.
a little kickback to me. So
I
I've
might hit that up too, because I've taken guitar 2 different times and it just, I just couldn't get it. I took piano and I did okay with piano, but then my teacher moved away and I put it down and didn't pick it back up. I've got a piano sitting in there. My daughter plays, my son plays guitar and bass.
I understand.
It's something that's
Well, let's
always,
do it,
it's
TJ.
always been on that bucket list, man. Maybe we need to challenge each other.
All right, that
I've
sounds
always
like a
wanted to
plan.
do that. I wanted to do that too.
All right.
I want to learn
Me
piano.
too.
I
All
used to
right, we'll
play
challenge
trombone
each
in
other.
high school. But I played trombone in high school.
Okay. Interesting.
I'd have to really build up my chops again. When I was in 4th or 5th grade, I wanted to learn an instrument. My sister played clarinet. And even back then, my ring fingers wouldn't close the keys. You know what I mean? That's like they stub you. So I said, I still want to play an instrument, but I want the instrument with the least amount of keys possible. And then I saw the trombone.
Okay. Smart man.
So, and I blew my bone for 4 years in high school. Anyway, you two have a series in common that I would love for y'all to talk about.
Okay. It
And
is
that series is TJ?
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. Well, sure. Thank you. And that was I saw those auditions coming up, and I was always infatuated with post-apocalyptic style films and things like that, The Walking Dead, and I always told myself I want to be one. I was called into existence. I think I have to book a role or something like that. And I saw that come in. I didn't know it was Twisted Metal at the time, of course, and I was like, I knew it was post-apocalyptic. I was like, I have to book this role. And getting this cop guard role, and they said they called me back in, and I think originally was for someone. It was between me and this other guy. And then the way it worked out, he couldn't be there that day or something out, and they full on went with me. I don't think things happen for a reason because it's supposed to. I don't know if you believe in God or universe. I think things happen because it's supposed to. I'm just not. I don't think it's luck. I'm not a luck guy. I think God knew that's going to happen, and it happened the way it's supposed to happen. So I was blessed to book that role. It was very challenging, but it was fun at the same time. One of the best days I've had on set, and one of the most. It was very hot, and I actually went for 2 days. I went for 1 day to film the second part of that scene, and I came back a couple weeks later to film the first part of that scene, and it was a blessing. And as an actor, that was my first time having a major, longer speaking role on a major television production. I've had speaking roles on other but on the Peacock and things like that. It was a blessing. And I saw TJ; he was all over the what do you call those? I'm going blank.
The trailers.
Trailer. You were all over the trailer, TJ. Well, you can't miss you.
So for me, I was uncredited in that production. I was background.
Shame on them.
But I was the only. Yeah, I know. But the scene I was in, I was the only background guy in the scene. And it was Anthony Mackie, it was my friend Jordan Salome, and another actor named Kevin that I didn't really interact with much because we were in separate parts. And then, of course, Earl White, who I became friends with after the production. Earl introduced me to James DeMont, and I started taking acting classes from him. Jim Gleason at the same time. And Jordan played the guy Abner that points a gun at Mackie and interacts with him when he first pulls up to the gate to really kick the series off. Jordan is the actor that encouraged me to get into acting and told me the steps. This is what you need to do. Take classes, get professional headshots, start doing some small independent productions and get footage built up for your reel. And he talked to me about how to get accounts on Backstage and Actors Access and start submitting for roles. And that was, I think we filmed in May or June, somewhere around there. And by July, I had headshots. And by August, I was doing self-tape.
That's awesome.
So I didn't waste any time once he gave me that encouragement. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't grow up in Hollywood. I didn't grow up with the ability. I had no idea how you even get into that. I had done background a handful of times, and I thought, oh, well, maybe somebody will see me and like my look and give me a shot. And that's, I mean, if you're hoping to get discovered doing background, unless you look like Ian Somerhalder, unless you look like a model, it ain't happening. You got to take classes and you got to put in the work and make it happen.
Yep.
So that was, you talk about things happening for a reason and God putting you in a place for a reason. I think that was why I did that. I almost didn't take it. I almost didn't do that project just because it was hot during that time. And I'm like, man, I'm only going to make a little over $100. I got to go get a COVID test and back and forth. The last time I did background, it was miserable. It was like 12 hours on set and holding, and we were standing almost the entire time. And I'm like, I don't want to stand for 12 hours in the heat. And it wasn't like that. For that particular shoot, I was only on set for maybe 3 hours, 4 at the most, if you count getting in the costume. And then I was on my way. Because of the COVID bump, I don't think they paid me feature pay, but it was a lot more than I made on other times that I had done background for a fourth of the amount of time on set.
And you got the full day.
I got the
full
day
pay, no matter how much you worked.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And that made it worth me. And that was incidentally the last background thing I did.
Background wasn't about the money. For me, I wanted my face on screen. Like you said, it was a 12-hour day. I love doing it. But if I'm the guy way in the distance, I'm not as excited as the guy who just walks in front of the camera. Or we did Leverage Redemption. And as I came up to a point, they had us next to a camera. And they said, okay, y'all do this, this, and this. But there was a guy in front of me. I said, do you want to go first? He goes, no, I don't want to. It's okay, I'll do it. Because I know even though the camera's behind me, it's going to flip and get your face there, the whole time. So knowing the tricks.
I've got one follow-up question on Twisted Metal. How many auditions did you have for that? Did you just have an initial self-tape and then like an in-person callback, or how did that work?
Let me think. I did audition for Abner, the scene that you're in, with Jordan Solomon. I know of Jordan Solomon. I have never met him personally yet. I just know him from afar. A lot of mutual friends. He's with the same action, like Talent Agency that I'm in. That one, I want to say a handful of them.
Yeah.
And then when I got the Scarred one, I believe I'm trying to remember. I believe they called me back in for a callback. Yeah, the callback. I remember the callback, and I did that. And next thing you know, maybe a few days later, maybe a week later, the best you always want to see as an actor. Congratulations, you've booked a role or whatever of so and so, pompous guard. And she gave me a little background on the character. He was like an ex, professor or type like that, like a smart, like a nerd, and he don't want this guy showing me up. So we're arguing about friction of air and all that nonsense. If we really go back and look at the scene, it's pretty funny now. Like, well, these guys are really serious arguing about this particular topic. And it was cool to hear the background about it when she said, this guy's ex-professor or whatever and things like that, and he knows it all, and don't show him up, and all right, I'll play it, let's do it. So about a handful of those, man. It was fun. One of the best sounds on set I've ever had.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So putting things out into the universe. If you could pick a role, a job, a movie to work on, anything, let's put it out there and get it happening for you. What's your dream? What's next?
Thank you, because I always think about that, and it's like, what draws my attention when I'm watching film? And roles like Tulsa King, things like that. You know, those mob guys. I'm obsessed with hitman type movies, mobster type movies. I love those movies. That style. Michael
Yeah.
Mann. I like the Miami Vice style. Things like that. So I guess I'm always. I guess there's always a cop that's always going to be there. Yeah. Those undercover.
But now
cop
you want to
roles.
be
I
the
guess
criminal.
Yeah.
You want to be the.
Or
You want to
yeah,
flip it.
or be the or be the crooked cop. You know, or flip it. I like things like that, and I always wanted, before I get too old, is to do a Marvel type movie. I always wanted to have some type of stupid, you know.
Oh yeah,
Me too.
totally.
Something brought my attention yesterday. I was watching something called Wonder Man on Disney Plus.
I saw the first 3
never knew
episodes.
about
It's great.
I saw the first 5 last night, and I just learned about it.
What's it called?
Wonder
Man and Wonder Man. And they talk
Wonder
about
Man.
acting, and about the actor, and he has like superpowers and things like that. I don't want to give it all away, but things like that, roles like that shows a little range, and you have some type of superpower. I like stuff like that. You know, well, Hitman.
Yeah,
I
my
say
goal-
Hitman as well because when you do Hitman styles, you can always dress into different characters. You can play different characters all in one film. You can dress into like you switch into a doctor or a lawyer or a janitor. You know, I like things like that.
Yeah.
Kill a few birds with
Did you
one
ever
stone.
see a TV show called Burn Notice? The guy played a spy and he
Yeah.
got disavowed, and he played all these characters. You know, he's doing undercover types, trying to get his life back. So he is going into these different scenarios in an undercover capacity, playing all kinds of different characters. The range you've got to have as an actor to play a role like that. That's kind of in keeping with what you're talking about.
I haven't seen Burn Notice, but I've never clicked on it just yet, but I will now. And that's kind of roles that I do like. I like just to have a little range, like killing a few birds with one stone.
The movie, I think it's Hitman with Glenn Powell, but I just saw his version of The Running Man, which, yeah, I was like, oh, a remake. Yeah, fantastic. And he has those kind of ranges. We won't give anything away. Yeah, he's fantastic. And my wife liked certain scenes in the movie, if you can guess.
Yeah. You know, I'm not a big fan of reboots and remakes of some of these movies. I think sometimes they ruin stuff. But that one was pretty well done, I think.
Go ahead and check that one out.
Cool.
So what's next?
I was blessed to meet some producers and some actors. You know, they're kind of like a group, like Ab Sandler type group. Like he has his own same people in each movie. I was blessed to have to meet these guys and do a couple films with them so far. I did 2 so far. Just finished one, a vampire thriller with them, and I have another one coming up in April and May. A futuristic style, and I'll talk about that later. I'm still learning about that one.
I just did one, and I feel like I'm on the diving board. I've got to wait to talk about it. I'm so excited about it, but you don't want to jinx it.
No, you don't.
Wanna, think about it too much and say, "Oh, it's going to be great," but it's good. You know what I'm saying? You have that actor mentality.
And I started to create my own projects during COVID. During COVID, and I had a bunch of time, and I had a bunch of thoughts and ideas up here, but I could never relate it to a paper. So I was never not a writer. So I'm trying to go down that lane a little bit and write things. It's good to have a good friend that actually writes, a roommate that's an actor. Tyler's a great writer. So we collaborated in writing a little mini web series I call The Crossing. It's like a little hit series I have on YouTube, which I only did 3 episodes of it. It's on YouTube. You can find it under The Crossing, which I want to circle back and elevate that a little bit more. And now that it's been maybe 5-6 years, I know a lot more, and I just want to elevate that with the characters and things like that, and come back with another series or make a little short about it. It's a little Hitman series,
Right?
And I also have something that's been sitting. I'm big into post-apocalyptic style films and things like that. So my buddy Tyler and I, we collaborated on a 5 series, about 20, 30 minutes a piece episode of post-apocalyptic style. It's called
I
Brothers.
play a mean, dirty-looking dude, man. I'm just saying.
I know. I see two right now, two guys that want a part of this film. And
I dropped my mouse.
It's all about finding the right people to produce it and things like that. But I think it's a great script, and maybe let you guys take a peek at it, and we'll talk more about it on a. It's about it's called Brothers. It's 3 or 4 brothers that kind of lost their. Was looking for their fourth brother, but it's some type of nonsense happened during that time of EM.
Yeah.
And then they lost contract. They lost maybe it's 5 years or whatever. They can't find their family and they don't know what's going on, but they're just trying to survive. But you see about those shows all the time. So what can you do different? In the post-apocalyptic.
Don't say. We'll talk about that off camera.
We'll talk about all camera. So what can you do different?
Yeah, no spoilers.
So I'll talk about that later. But
yeah.
I saw one that you and Tyler did. I don't know if it's the series you were talking about or if it was a standalone film, but it was really well done.
Thank you. I think it was one. Was it a short? Yeah, I think it was one that Tyler wrote. It was a thriller. It was The Samaritan, I believe.
Yes.
No, that's
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Yeah, that was really well done. Like really well done.
That's awesome, man. You can find Samaritan on YouTube under Tyler Roberts, production of Tyler Roberts. It's a cooler role that you just want to act, and then that's all I want to do is put myself out there and act. I enjoy the heck out of it. I know y'all wanted to ask me about how I started acting. I can maybe talk a little briefly about that.
Sure.
So I started off in Lafayette. I went to UL Lafayette, and then I ran track about 30, 40 pounds ago. And then at the track, I got connected with a few people that was in the theater industry. So they did a lot of community theater, and they asked me to come try out and come check it out. So I went and checked it out a little, and then from there, I fell in love with it. It was a small little troupe, if you will. They did a certain different type. We traveled everywhere and did some stuff for about 4 years. So I started doing that, and I really started believing in myself that I can actually do something like this. Because the scripts were this thick, and I was, and I did it. And there's a guy that believed in me. He was Dr. Alex Marshall. Was a theater legendary teacher at UL. Theater teacher at UL. He was in charge of this Omni Artiste in Lafayette. He believed in me. He just saw something in me and just kept throwing these roles at me. Sometimes I would do 2 or 3 characters in one play. Didn't think I could do that, but I've done that. And then I would lead in some other plays, and he just gave me a belief that no one else ever did. And after that, I started did some extra work for the first time in The Electric Mist. That was in Lafayette as well. I was a black cowboy sitting at the bar with Tommy Lee Jones. And then, prior to that, I've done something with, I don't know if you know Grip First. He came up with something called, this is a vampire thriller. I played one of the vampires, Wolves Bane. And you can look it up. It's Vampires and Werewolves, uncredited. I thought I was going to get credit on it. But I was a vampire that got, outside Lafayette, that got slayed in the graveyard. So that kind of
spoilers.
I know that was many moons ago.
I know. I'm teasing. And
then I did Glory Road as an extra. I don't know if you know the movie Glory Road. So I've done these. I did my handful of extra work, and I was like, I kind of like this. I'm really. I want to try my hand and something. I want to try to get an agent and try to take this another step. So in 2011, 2012, I decided to get into an acting class. I left Lafayette, came back home to Baton Rouge, and decided to get into acting class. Lauren Michelle was my acting coach. She was great, like really great. She helped me a lot. So I did that for 3 or 4 years under her, and then worked on getting an agent. And I still didn't know much about it, but just worked on trying to get an agent, and eventually, 20, I want to say 2013, 2014, I got should I tell you the crazy story how I got an agent? They wouldn't happen now,
Yes,
though.
sir.
Okay, they wouldn't happen now, guys. I was a reader for a friend, and sometimes the readers can't overtake the main guy.
You're right.
They asked me who's that reader, and so 10 years later, I'm with my lovely action talent agency. But yeah.
Backgrounds should never draw attention to themselves,
Right.
and readers should never surpass the actor on. But at the same time, as a reader, you got to give them a little bit to play with.
Yeah.
And then it's real easy to get carried away. I have helped Jim Gleason make some tapes, and he's going to settle down, Brian.
Yeah. And speaking of Jim Gleason,
totally.
I took his class as well, and he helped me a lot. I learned a lot under Jim Gleason because coming from theater, I was all here. And he told me to keep it in here. And then we replayed some stuff, and he showed the class what not to do. And then there were some takes that was like good. And he showed the class and he was like, this is the good stuff. But I learned a lot under Jim and a lot under Dean West. I just wanted to try different people. I think Dean West. So I love Dean. I love his mind and learned a lot from him. And another person I want to try.
I'm studying with Dean right now.
Tell him hello. I love that guy. I've been wanting to
he's great.
Try James Dumont. I just see him from the far, and I look at his stuff, and he's very interesting to me. But like I said, I study for myself, as well. It's been a while since I've been back into an acting class. But yes, I've taken that class for several years. But I need to go back. I would like to go back, but I study on my own, and there's a few books and stuff I always read, and YouTube University. And I just try to stay on top of my game a little bit, and just watch all the films, and I just try to stay at it.
Totally. Nick, it's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been too long coming.
Yeah.
It's too long to get you in here.
Well, I
do you have any
appreciate that,
socials
man.
you'd like to share? Oh, you're welcome. Any socials you'd like to share?
Yeah, you can easily find me under Nick_Marchan on Instagram, or Nick Marchan on Facebook. Marchan with no D. Marchan. A lot of people like to put the D on there, but we're the unique kind. No D.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, can I leave with one quote?
Yes, you can.
I'm big into inspirational quotes. There's a lot more we could talk about, but maybe one day. John Maxwell is I don't know if you guys know him, but it's all about, he left a quote, and I wrote down the other day. I'm always filing quotes when I hear it. He says, "A person with passion always stands out. The world is so full of average, but once you have passion and a sense of energy in your life, it distinguishes you. When you're passionate about something, it is not reasonable, but you do it anyway. Passion will take you where nothing else will ever take you. It'll give you that decided edge. It'll help you stand out." And talk about being passionate about what you want, about what you want to do. And acting is something I love to do. Singing is something I love to do. Entertaining is something that we all love to do. And I wish us all success in this industry.
Yeah.
I hope you understand me. I hope all was clear. If we need to redo this, then let me know.
No, we don't need to redo it.
No.
I'll have you back later. That quote is pure truth about this job, because it's not that Hollywood wants to hurt you. It's just the machine will spit you up, and the waiting will tear you up, and all that good stuff. And the passion will make you stand out in auditions, in interactions with people. It's so hard to stay passionate, especially when we have our downtime. But that's we don't want to get too serious. Thank you for coming on, my friend.
Oh, no problem.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, Nick, it's been great seeing you again. See you, folks.
My pleasure, man. Thank you, guys.